I just wanted to make a quick video on basically some of the functionality I've been able to achieve with this. It's actually been quite a process getting the MIDI controls to work, which once I figured everything out, it's actually pretty simple to replicate. It's just one of those things you have to learn by trial and error and just read and post from other people, and eventually you figure it out. But basically, you have different views within Gigperformer. So like you have your wiring view, which is where you can set up these things called rack spaces, which I'll show you those. So rack spaces are going to be right here. They're right here. So basically, you see as I click through these, I have these set to different song names, but you can kind of see how it's changing, right? And kind of my logic here was I made like a master template, I guess you could say, with like sometimes 2 amps, sometimes 3, and I'd have like a keyboard right here and then the vocal rig, and I just named all of my rack spaces based on what song that are going to be in my set list view, and I have them kind of arranged in the way that I would use it. So like in this song, Love Song by The Cure, like I don't play guitar, so I took off all the guitar routing. And then like a song like War Pigs, I don't need keyboard, so I took that off. It just kind of saves CPU. Let's see. So there's the rack spaces. It's kind of where you just, like, you can see there's Morgan Amp Suite. That's Neural DSP. There's a song. Where is it? This one. This is a pretty big file here. You got Keyscape. Triton, that's a Korg Triton VST. But if you double click, it actually loads the plugin view, so you can edit things within that. And then we go on to set lists, and this is where I kind of make my scenes, like what you would have like on a modeler or something. Which it's kind of a weird workaround. You have to, there's these things called widgets. So in like the rack space view, you would kind of create this template here, which you can see I have like a clean amp on, I have crunch, I have a lead channel, and I basically have these set where like this might bypass the gainier amp, right? If I have 2 amps, like this setting, I have it all routed to where when this is on, anything else is bypassed, right? So you kind of have to do routing in that way. But you can see here's the set list view. You have your songs that you can name, and then you have the parts for the song. So like with my MIDI controller, I basically have 4 and D to go up and down the set list. So like, let's say I'm done with a song, I could just, go on to the next song or go back, which is really nice. And then a lot of people, they use these like in this format. I haven't put this one together yet, but like the default is intro, verse, chorus. I don't really like that format. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I kind of have them named like individual patches. So like I'll find one I've already finished. Which one was I just did? There. Wait. Devil and I. Okay. So like I have like clean, delay and reverb, clean, crunch and rotary, lead, right? So just like the different parts, and then you can assign those, so you can basically modify that rack space that you have it loaded to, and set up your patch and save it per patch. So like clean, I have just the clean on. Delay and reverb, you have this right here. Crunch is just the crunchy amp, then crunch and rotary and lead, right? And then I have these assigned to my master faders, which is really handy if you just needed to turn up like the vocalist, or however you would have this routed, keys or guitar, or even if it's just guitar, like up or down, without having to go into plugin view, which is sick. You can just, or even have to hit this master volume up here, like you have a lot of control on what volume parameter you want to actually adjust, instead of just like master output or input gain or something. So let's see. Yeah, and this one, it has pretty big chain. Like I have a virtual Big Sky, which is freaking sick. And there's like the intro of the song is kind of like the swell. I'll show you. Let me just, yeah, I'll show you in just a second. And then you got a Strymon dig delay. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to hold this phone, but like, okay. There we go. So here's like that clean and reverb. It's kind of like a swell. And then I have my just regular clean. And then crunch. And then rotary with crunch. Straight up lead. So yeah, man, I mean it's coming together, and I just got to basically create presets for every song. Another thing that's really cool is, so like I told you, I had kind of like a master template that I made, and then I just like subtract things or add things depending on the song. One of the things, so I always have the vocalist, like there's no real automation I'm doing yet as far as vocals are concerned, but I'm thinking, like, we do Purple Rain, right? Right here. I might have like more delay on his vocal for that song, right? So that would be like an example of something that, you know, certain songs you could just change that and add that. But another thing, he goes through auto-tune, and I have to where every rack space is set to the key for that song. So like you can see